So we've had OS deployment capabilities in System Center, first in SMS as an OS deployment feature pack, and then as a major investment in Configuration Manager 2007. Through the releases of Service Pack 1, R2, and SP2, we have been doing some enhancements and improvements to pick up things like new operating systems, as well as new technologies on the back end, like multicast and WDS, as well as new features like branch cache. While in R3, we're also improving our OS deployment capabilities with a new capability called OEM Prestaged Media. This allows us to have a new wizard experience right inside our admin console that allows us to create new types of bootable media that you can provide to your hardware vendors or suppliers or even your partners who are doing your machine builds. Let's take a quick look at how some of that works inside of our Configuration Manager 2007 R3 console.
So one of the really cool things I want to show you here that's new in Config Manager 2007 R3 is the OEM deployment media option within the task sequence wizard. Here we are within our admin console, and if I select my task sequences, select right click, and select the Create Task Sequence Media, we now have a fourth option called Prestaged Media. This allows us to create an operating system image that we would place on the piece of hardware at the factory for to them to be delivered to the organization or the customer site, be booted, and actually complete the deployment. Let's take a look at how it works. I'm going to select the Prestaged Media, hit Next, just call this a creation version, bit information there. I'm going to select a media file, and I'll just browse to a location here on my network. And we'll drop it in there, and we'll just call it demo5.wim, because we are creating a WIM file. We now have options that we have seen in other deployment wizards in the past with Config Manager, for example enabling unknown computer support, as well as creating some password protection on the file. So create a couple of default numbers there. We on the bottom have abilities to provide either self-signed certificates or even import a certificate, so if a customer has their own certificates, we can use those there. I'm now going to go and select a boot image I'm going to use, so I'll pick my WinPE x86 image here. Distribution point, you can see it's connected there. And I've also now got to specify an OS image package. You see here I've got a Windows 7 Enterprise 64-bit operating system install, and it's read inside and seen the Enterprise WIM file there. Selecting Next gives me a quick summary, and we're done. So it's now going to go through a process where the image is created as a WIM file, and the process simply at this point becomes this. The hardware vendor lays this image down on some hardware that is delivered to a customer site. It's unboxed, and at that point the customer would then boot the machine up. It boots to WinPE. We then continue to deliver the assigned task sequence execution steps. And then also the task sequencer will pick up the remaining bits that are local or respective of that hardware target, things like drivers or things like that. And then at that point we reboot back and complete the operating system install. We put the Config Manager client on the process, and we would complete the task sequence steps at the very end, like doing things like application installs or even updates. So we're going to let this run for a while here. I won't wait for the demo to complete here because it's going to take a few minutes with a few gigs of data to process. But that was a quick summary of how the Prestaged Media feature in Config Manager R3 is actually functioning within the wizard process.
So that was a quick look at the new console improvements and wizards that we'll have available in Configuration Manager 2007 R3. Hopefully these new wizards will bring you support for scenarios that you've been looking for a while, and will help you enable better Windows 7 deployments with both your end users, your hardware suppliers, or even directly with your vendors. Thanks for your time.